So I had a comment in one of my Game Light episodes where a user was annoyed that I had spoiled something about the game I was talking about. The game is currently 14 years old. When does information on a spoiler for a game lose its status as a means to destroy an experience? Now, off the record, spoiling anything is kind of a dickish move, but I'm a strong believer of if you look for videos of a game you haven't played yet but want to play, you're gonna spoil yourself. So that's your own fault for seeking out that information. I personally don't spoil new games. Like, 2010 onwards, don't really want to do it. I give it a bit more time, but the whole question is how much is enough time? And to some people, like the user that I accidentally spoiled, 14 years isn't enough because there's an age factor where some people are too young to actually play the game, and then when they're old enough to play it, there's tons of information about it. But there will always be spoilers with previous games. When they're super old, the media is all over it, and it's common knowledge by the time they actually get to it. Which is unfortunate, but it happens all the time. Good examples for spoilers is movies. The Sixth Sense has an awesome plot twist, and it's so great if you haven't heard anything about it and you watch it and you're like, holy shit, boom! What the fuck just happened? Now, the movie was released in 1999. Anyone born a bit before or after this date can't really experience this big secret that happens. Everyone talks about it, and it's common when you talk about a movie, you talk about the plot twists. This is the same for games. You talk about a game, you usually talk with the person that's played the game, and if you somehow mosey on in, you get spoiled. Everyone thinks the spoiler for Sixth Sense is, oh, I see dead people. It's like, no, that was in the fucking trailer, I think. The huge main spoiler is actually the main character, who is Bruce Willis. He's a ghost. He's dead. He doesn't realize it. Giannis doesn't realize it either. Until, the very end. Spoilers, I guess, even though it's 15 years old. Another one for me, personally, was the Star Wars trilogy. The original one. The good one, not the shit ones. Everyone would quote, Luke, I am your father, and use the voice that Darth Vader would do. Luke, I am your father. It's so overused, and it spoils it for anyone who hasn't watched it. Because they know whose voice sounds like that. So it's obvious who his father is, and it's really annoying, but it sucks out the fun, but it's so dated that we accept it as common knowledge. Games work completely like this. It's an old game, like Chrono Trigger. Lots of talk because it's, such a good game, oh my god. Lots of people know about it. Lots of people will know the story. Lots of people have played it. And if you come along way later, you probably heard a few things and you're probably spoiled already. But you lose out on game plots and movie plots. It's inevitable. You can avoid it by not watching videos and maybe hanging out with people that don't like the same games you do. But sometimes you can't avoid it. Shit happens, so you have to deal with it. I've seriously been spoiled a billion times over. Yeah, I get pissed, but I don't blame the person, especially if it's many, many years old. So my question is, when is it appropriate to spoil something? When is it commonplace talk? Some things run really fast. Like Game of Thrones, you hear all the spoilers and see it all online the day of the fucking episode. But for a game, when is it appropriate? How many years does it have to be in order to be okay to talk about? Is it 5? Is it 10? Is it 15? I don't know. It's up to you guys. I personally think 5 years or older, probably okay. Probably heard about it. And yes, age is a factor, and it's unfortunate, but everyone gets spoiled with things. So you either have to deal with it or get pissy and rant about someone else who accidentally spoiled it to you. Sorry, I spoil a few things. So let me know what your opinions are on spoilers, and I will reply in the next episode. So the last video was on cheating in games, and there's so many awesome replies and so many different things that I'm going to take a lot longer on this one and comment on more of the comments. So here we go. Akiradoc says that they cheat quite a lot, but it's not for the challenge, it's for the experience. If you want to get through the story and you want to know what the fuck happens and you don't want to actually do anything stupid and break up the immersion, that I can understand. JRPGs are terrible for grinding. And yes, all of the fucking Tales games, holy shit. I just honestly, on Tales of Graces, I just wanted to know what the story was, but everything got in the way, and it is really annoying, so I understand that. And cheating in a multiplayer game is just sad. I agree. Info brings up a really good point that they don't have any issues with cheating. It's your own game, you play how you want it, you bought it. Unless you're cheating and trying to pass it off as playing legitimately. Like, you're fucking stupid for doing that. You're fucking obviously cheating in certain games. They also mentioned that they have used, like, the Game Genie for the NES, and I did for the SNES, just to fuck up the Super Mario Kart tracks, because they turned into psychedelic wonders. But cheat codes that give you invincibility or all the items you could ever dream of, that ruins the game, especially if it's your first time through. They also agree that cheating is garbage on multiplayer games, especially online ones. There's nothing impressive about beating other people with cheating, and I so agree, because you're just a fucking asshole if you are. Lavi Wolf says they try not to use cheats in most cases. They say that removing a challenge with cheats can alter how immersed you can get in the game's world, which is really true. Though they are okay with cheating in single-player games, depending on the situation. As it was touched on before, if they are unable to beat a boss and get past a challenge and they really want to know what the fucking story is, they might cheat. I can understand, because it does get really fucking frustrating and you would just want to know the fucking story. Also, if the game is really grindy, then yeah, I can understand, because you don't want to waste endless hours pissing around just to get a few levels. And a very, very good saying, more time saved, more time for other games, which is very, very true. They also agree that online multiplayer games, if you cheat in them, you're a fucking idiot, and that it affects others' experience of the game, which is very unfair for you just being the absolute biggest dick in the world and ruining it for everyone else. So, yeah, don't cheat online. Medio Bahamut is guilty of save scumming, but I am too as well. I sometimes do it, and I have people pointing out, whoa, you're saving a lot, and it's like, oh shit. But it is a good safeguard against stupidity and just horrible endings. They have also said that they have never used cheats through a game, which is very impressive, especially nowadays. Glitches are fucking glitches, and yeah, they happen. I understand that. Just those who exploit them, yeah, I don't like you. Hacking, fuck no. Hacking is the worst kind of shit. Yes! But hacking is not modding. I kinda didn't touch on that entirely. Modding is okay, but modding can get out of hand, which I might do for a future game talk. They also mentioned that botting is the worst stupid shit ever in video games. Why do people need programs to play their own game? Because they want fucking shit. They don't want to do it. They don't want to actually play the game. They just want to exploit it, which is fucking bullshit. So in the end, they personally dislike cheating. They don't mind it in single-player games because it's yours, but multiplayer games, you don't do it. Miro Avila says cheating can be good if you just want to rush through the game and just know the story. Doesn't make it too rewarding, but you finish it and you just want the story. And you don't have to apologize, because I understand that people cheat and there's billions of different reasons, so don't worry about that. Haley of the Funk says that they do cheat where they might look at a walkthrough and some cheat codes, and that they don't see the big issue with walkthroughs, as most people are just struggling to get fucking past something. And I agree, I use walkthroughs, especially for survival horror, where if I don't remember something and I maybe continue it ages later and I don't know the layout, I'm gonna look at a fucking walkthrough because I can't fucking remember. They also mentioned that when it does come to cheats, that they rarely use a life cheat to increase lives or anything. Usually it's something funny or aesthetic, like changing costumes and having big heads or long arms or whatever, something funny. Yeah, those cheats are fine, because there's cheats in the original GoldenEye on N64 where the cheats are like big head, big armed little sprites, and the bullet holes in the wall turn into paintballs instead. So those aren't really cheats, they're just kind of like, yeah, aesthetics. A lot of PC games have mods for that, so that's fine. It's not really cheating. It's mainly the mods that just, oh, here's a fucking overpowered sword, use it. That's not the good one. The one that they are mentioning is totally fine. Samurais is surprised that I didn't mention speedruns, and that they're really surprised how people find glitches in the first place. I have seen the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time playthrough, where it's like using the crawling bombs to do certain things and blowing them into like the Shadow Temple. What the fuck? I had no idea about that. And the whole Mario 64 speedrun, like, holy shit, how? There are a set number of like rules for like speedruns, and I think glitches, if they're in the game, it's totally fine, but cheats, not so fine. But I mean, if you are going for a speedrun and you know all of these glitches, like, holy shit, I didn't know any of them, good for you for finding them. Before I ramble on every single comment in there, I'm going to stop there, and thank you for all of those awesome comments, and I will see you in the next video.